Even now, looking at this lineup, months after it being announced, a year after it being announced, it's just insane. What's up, dudes? I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be talking all things Bloodstock. Bloodstock 2025, obviously it's been a sellout so far. I know there are some day tickets left for the Friday, but wow, this one has been a huge one in the metal community. For the lineup, which we'll go through, we're going to go through the lineup, we're going to go through the map, we're going to go through all of the stuff that they've got going on at the festival, which is actually quite a lot this year, the most they've ever had going on. So yeah, it's exciting. You know, when it was announced last year at the festival, I mean, the level of excitement was pretty mad. I've never seen a announcement for a festival go down so well with a massive bunch of people. Like, literally everyone was going crazy. It was just such an awesome thing to witness. So actually being lucky enough to get a ticket, I'd done the payment scheme originally because obviously I didn't want to miss out on a ticket. I knew that this was going to be a big one. But if you haven't got a ticket for this year's festival, I mean, there still are some going on Tixell. I know a couple of people that have put some up and they've gone straight away. There is a waiting list on there, so if you want to go on there, I mean, we're only 2 weeks away now, but you never know. Some people cancel last minute, so if you haven't got a ticket but you really want to go, there might still be a chance of you going. So get yourself on Tixell, get yourself on the waiting list, and just keep an eye out in there because you never know, sometimes they do pop up. So first off, let's have a look at who is playing Bloodstock. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but I just want to talk about what bands I'm really looking forward to and what bands I'm looking forward to seeing for the first time, because there are quite a few on here. But I will say this. 3 of my favourite bands of all time are on this lineup, and many others, you know, coming just outside of that. But 3 of my favourite bands of all time are on this lineup, which is just insane. I mean, overall, it's very good. Quickly, we'll run through Friday. The bands that I really want to see on this day: Orange Goblin, that kind of, you know, stoner, Black Sabbath influenced metal. You know, I got into these guys very late. I had a lot of opportunities to see them back in the day, which I didn't take. So this would be the first time I'm going to see them, which would be amazing because I really have been turned on to them a lot. Above them, of course, Lacuna Coil. I had pictures of Christina all over my walls as a child. I possibly was even a little bit obsessed. But I love this kind of, you know, that gothic metal coming from the 2000s. They had some incredible albums. I think their latest album that's come out this year is actually really good as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do, and I'm definitely going to be there for them. I do like my black metal, and Emperor has been a band, obviously, that's come sort of past me over the years. There are quite a few of their songs that I like, but I've never destined to see them live. So again, like the run up to the headliners on this stage, I'm just going to be fixed to the main stage because, yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually hearing some proper black metal played at Bloodstock. And of course, the Friday headliners, Trivium. Now, we all know this band has wall-to-wall bangers. I mean, every single album has, you know, some songs that always end up on a playlist. Their last few albums, I think, have been fantastic as well. I'm kind of almost gearing towards, I prefer the newer stuff to the older stuff. But obviously the older stuff has its place and it is really good. So I'm looking forward from them. It's just a best of set, you know, just play all the bangers and I think everyone would be really happy. But I do think that that is a fantastic way to sort of top off the Friday, you know, the first music day at Bloodstock. So yeah, super excited about the Friday. Now, of course, moving on to the Saturday. Now, Creeper are a band that I have loved now for a long time. In my opinion, they just keep getting better and better. When I saw them at Trees last year, I was absolutely blown away. I was just like, oh my god, this band literally cannot get any better. So I'm really excited to see what they do on the new album, but I will be trying to get as close as possible for Creeper because I have become a proper Creeper fanboy. So I understand now why people are so obsessed with them. But I love their kind of, goth rock aesthetic. In the last album they sort of leaned into the Meatloaf, more 80s kind of, gothic rock stuff, almost like rock opera. I just think they're brilliant. I think that a lot of Bloodstockers might be bit like with them, but I think if you let the sort of gothness creep in, I think that some people could really be turned around to Creeper. Now Kubla Khan I'm not a fan of necessarily, but I've heard that they're absolutely insane live, and you know what it's like with these sort of hardcore bands, the pits are always great and the crowd always goes mental. So although I don't listen to Kubla Khan, I will definitely be checking them out because I want to see what they're all about, especially live. Now, before I was saying some of my favourite bands of all time are playing this festival, Fear Factory are one of my favourite bands of all time. Yeah, so Fear Factory are one of my favourite bands of all time. I've literally been a fan for 27 years or something ridiculous like that. I really would prefer a best of set from them. I like that they're playing Demanufacture all the way through. Obviously, it's a really progressive seminal album for metal especially. But at a festival, I always prefer a best of set. And their set at Download last year was great because it was literally just, handpicked from every single album. So I'll still enjoy it because I love that album. I feel like people maybe that don't know that album might not be as excited and probably would prefer a best of. But I still think it's going to be great. Now, Ministry, a lot like Emperor, well, a little bit less actually, because Ministry have been one of those bands that people say, dude, you like industrial metal, you like that sort of stuff. But Ministry have just been one of those bands I haven't managed to sort of grasp or get into. So I'm still intrigued by them. I've listened to a lot more of their stuff leading up to the festival, and I do like it a lot. So watching them, I think, will be a band that I can sort of tick off, and hopefully this performance itself might turn me round to becoming a proper Ministry fan, but I am looking forward to them. And of course, Saturday's headliners, again, one of my favourite bands of all time, Machine Head. I think these guys never fail live. Every time I've seen them, I've been blown away. They're great. Rob's vocals are great, their performance, their stage show. I saw him at Download last year, obviously headlined the second stage, and I think they are absolutely going to blow the roof off of this festival. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously, a lot like Trivium, hope we just get a best of set, handpicked whatever songs they want from whatever album, just play all the good stuff, and we'll all go home really happy and just have a great Saturday night. And if I scroll down, headlining the Sophie Lancaster stage on the Saturday, we have another one of my favourite bands of all time, Static X. Now, obviously, Wayne Static isn't with us anymore, so we have Zero doing vocals. From what I've seen, he's excellent. Obviously, all of the albums that have come out, Project Revolution, using all of Wayne Static's old vocals from Static X projects and his solo stuff, they are literally two of the best Static X albums, I would say. So I honestly think they'll play loads of the old stuff, but they'll play some of the new stuff as well, because I know that the fans really love it. So I have seen Static X once before in 2009, so this would only be the second time for a super fan that I've seen them. So yeah, really excited, on that second stage. I don't know what's going to happen with timings and the fact that I might have to leave Machine Head a couple of songs early to get a really good space for Static X, which I'm fine with because I have seen Machine Head a hell of a lot more than I've seen Static X. But yeah, just a great way to round off the Saturday. Machine Head into Static X. Unbelievable. Now, the Sunday is a bit of a weird one for me because there are bands on there that I like. Actually, forget that. First of all, I will, in between, especially earlier in the day when I don't know some of the bands, I will just be walking around. There is some stuff. They haven't got the Metal to the Masses bands on here. Of course, Metal to the Masses, one of the greatest things that is to do with metal music in general in this country. Absolutely unbelievable. So I want to go show some support to some of those bands, especially the guys obviously that won the Cheltenham round. I really want to go and see them as well. So apart from the bands that I've mentioned, there are a lot on here that I will just be walking around and going, I like the sound of that, and going in. Or if someone tells me this band's really good, go and watch them, I will do that as well. But Sunday bands I want to see, 3 Inches of Blood, I've been told, are really great. I think they went away for a while and then came back, but I've heard quite a few of their songs over the years and they do sound really good, so that might be one I visit. Mastodon, absolutely fantastic band. I am a huge Mastodon fan, so that will definitely be something that I will not be missing. Now, Gojira, everyone loves Gojira, but I'm still not sold on Gojira. Sorry guys, I know that a lot of people will be like quite put back by that, but yeah, I'm not getting this. Everyone puts Gojira up on such a pedestal, and I personally don't hear it or see it. I don't know. I like them. I like some of their songs. I think they're good. Obviously, I will be watching them, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it as well. But yeah, that out of these three headliners, I'm far more excited to see Trivium Machine Head than I am Gojira. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are with me, but I'll watch them and I'll enjoy them. But yeah, I'm not as much of a huge fan as I'm sure all of you lot are when it comes to Gojira. Anyway, that's the bands. Let's have a look at this year's map. Doesn't look too dissimilar from obviously other years. They have added a few bits and a few little things have moved around slightly, but for the most part it is the same as it was last year. I mean, this zone, the chair-free zone, that's probably going to annoy quite a lot of people. I think due to sort of around the towers where people were obviously putting a lot of chairs, people couldn't get through. It was causing bottlenecks around the back. So making it a chair-free zone, I know that will obviously annoy some people because you'll have to have proof of why you need a chair, and some people, no, they don't necessarily have like a medical issue, but they do feel like they need to sit down. So I get it. I get why it's going to be so annoying to some people, but I also think that it will make the flow of people in the arena and just that area much easier to get around because you won't be stepping over people with chairs. So I can see why they've done it, but I can also see why it would annoy a lot of people. So I don't know what side of the fence you're on for that. The New Blood stage in the same place, of course, over there on the left-hand side. Lemmy's Bar, where my lot end up spending quite a lot of time because you can literally just grab a drink, stand over here and, you know, watch bands quite easily. The EMP stage, which I believe was the little Jägermeister stage the last time. So that's changed slightly, and they've moved it over, it looks like, on there. It might be in the same place, but I think it was around here somewhere last time. I think they've really opened up this space. Sophie Lancaster stage in the same place as well. So that's what is your second stage, essentially. And then, of course, all around the arena will be all of your food. I'll go through in a second all of the rest of the stuff that's going on there. And if you are one of the VIP people, you have the Serpent's Lair as well, where they have bands and they have all sorts of stuff in there. So if you're one of those lucky ones, you get to enjoy that as well. I mean, camping-wise, we always seem to find ourselves camping in Midgard because it's more of, you know, I think that's more of the party vibe. I feel like in Valhalla as well, and Asgard, that is the same. I haven't camped in any of those, but I feel like the other ones that are sort of further away tend to be a little bit quieter, and you know, like their Ragnarok camp is the quiet zone, so they seem to be a bit more chilled out. So if you don't want to be with a bunch of crazies, which this year will be because it's sold out and it's going to be mental, or depending on the weather, if it's hot, this is going to be one of the most crazy festivals possibly ever, especially at Bloodstock. If it rains, then you might actually get away with it camping in Midgard because it will be mental, but maybe not as mental as it would be on a hot year. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Just going mad there. And obviously it's such a short jog to the arena. I think one of the best things about the layout of this whole festival is it's one of the flattest festivals. Apart from going to the cars, which weirdly it takes longer to get to the car at this festival than it does at Download now if you're camping in Blue Camp, which is really, really weird to, you know, take you longer to get your cars from here than it does actually at Download. But for the most part, you know, it's completely flat. There's only a couple of hills in the public car parking, but the rest of it is essentially pretty flat the whole time. So yeah, it's easy strain on your legs, or if you've got mobility issues, it's a lot easier to get around this festival than others. You know, 2000 Trees can be quite hilly, and Download can have some mega hills as well. So yeah, but yeah, that's it really. I mean, there's not really that much to talk about. I'll talk about all the stuff that's happening in a second, but yeah, looks good. You know, it's a great size festival. Yeah, just buzzing to get there. This is just making me want to go even more. So Bloodstock have really stepped up their entertainment. Obviously, at festivals now, entertainment, you know, apart from the music, is such a big thing. So from the Wednesday, they're going to do Wednesday night movies, which should be pretty cool. So I think in Midgard, they are showing the Lost Boys and Shaun of the Dead. So I'm sure that me and my group will be checking some of those out anyway, maybe a bit of each, and especially Shaun of the Dead, because, you know, we can all quote it, which would be amazing. I think one of the things that sets Bloodstock apart from other festivals is their awesome gallery. They have like a history gallery there, which has, you know, all the old posters and pictures from all the old Bloodstock lineups, illustrations, you know, by artists that do artwork for bands, all sorts of stuff. They're having Lemmy's bust back again, so there's a Lemmy bust which contains Lemmy's ashes, so I think that's going to be back there this year as well. But it's just great to go in there and just look at all the history, all the illustrations. You know, you can buy artist stuff in there. I just think it's one of those things when you go to Bloodstock you have to do, because it's just so cool. From what I understand as well, they'll be having their sort of soft play area, their like adult soft play area again. I haven't heard any news on bin jousting, and I know obviously they tried to do the commercial bin jousting, I think, which some people enjoyed. But I think there probably still will be some rogue bin jousting. I'm not sure how that's going to go down this year, but even last year people were trying to get stuff going, basically, but it didn't really work to any. But I think I saw one bin smashed into another one once throughout the festival. So just one of those legendary things, unfortunately, that you know, for safety reasons, doesn't really happen at Bloodstock anymore. But you never know. Fingers crossed, we might see some illegal bin jousting. Because EMP have a stage there, they're actually offering a code to get money off of merch for the bands that are playing Bloodstock. So I never knew this literally until I looked at the website. So you can buy, you know, Gojira, Machine Head, all the bands that are playing this year. There is a code on the Bloodstock website which gets you like 20 or 15% off of some of the merch of the bands playing Bloodstock. So if you want to grab some merch of bands before you go and do that, because I thought that was really, really good. Not a sponsor, but EMP would be a nice sponsor. Please sponsor me. There are as well some food challenges going down in the arena Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Now, I've written these down. There is Bunny Chow Down, which is obviously Bunny Chow. There is Spudstock Showdown and Curry on Screaming. So, Stu, I'm looking at you to get into these challenges and try and win something for our camp. But yeah, so if you are one of those sort of competitive eaters, or you think you could be, I reckon you should go into the arena and sign up for one of these, because, yeah, they're really cool. Now, I did mention Metal to the Masses before, but I have to reiterate that Metal to the Masses is an incredible idea, with bands competing all over the country to get a chance to play Bloodstock. You know, some bands don't get through. Sad face. But, you know, it is one of those things. It supports local venues. It brings metal literally to the masses. You know, some of these venues are absolutely packed for these finals, semi-finals, etc. So keep supporting local bands. When you're at Bloodstock, if you've got some time in your hands, go over to the New Blood stage. You know, help support literally the new blood coming through, because, you know, a lot of those bands do end up moving up, especially at Bloodstock. It's definitely been noted that a lot of bands start on that stage and then do move up through the stages onto the main stage, because that's how we can support metal and spread it to the masses. Yeah, so obviously there's a lot more going on. I won't go for everything because this video would be going on forever, but I really do respect Bloodstock trying to cram as much as possible to sort of, you know, pack out the festival with everything going on that's not just the bands. So fair play to them. I mean, tell me in the comments how excited you are for this year's Bloodstock. Lineup wise, this is probably one of the most excited I've ever been. Like, this will be my 5th year in a row going to Bloodstock. It's one of those festivals where, literally like Pringles, once you pop, you can't stop. Like, I never want to miss a Bloodstock now, because I love the festival so much. I love the organisation. I love the size, although, you know, I'm open for Bloodstock getting a little bit bigger than it currently is. And I think in years to come, it will have to, due to popularity. But yeah, really glad that it's obviously almost completely sold out. It's just going to be an absolute mental metal mess. Fingers crossed the weather will be good. You know, Download was great weather. Trees was incredible weather. So I'm really got my fingers crossed for nothing too hot, but around the 25 degree mark would be absolutely perfect. So come on, please, just give us 25 degrees. Yeah, so there you go, guys. I will have to thank, of course, my patrons for all their support. You guys are on screen now. Thank you very much. It really does mean a lot. If you want to join my Patreon, the link is in the description. But as always, thank you very much for all the support that you guys are giving me on YouTube. Of course, subscribe if you haven't. There is a little subscribe in the corner of the screen. All you have to do is just click on that and subscribe, and you're done, and you will get all my videos. So yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you dudes in the next video. You should go and subscribe to my channel. Just because, come on, subscribe.